Hello viewers, you're watching Eco TV International News, our broadcasting for viewers in the Gambia and around the world. We first begin with our headlines. Gambia Revenue Authority to train over 100 staff on revenue laws. Mr. Bojang endorses CDCC for Birkama Area Council. Government to take tougher action against rape. State requests undercover agent to testify in camera in the court trial. Gash pays over $1 million is mining royalty to Tuyerang. Those were the headlines. We now have the news in detail. As part of its transformation agenda, the Gambia Revenue Authority has announced it will train over 100 staff from different departments and units on revenue laws to improve efficiency in tax mobilization. Yesterday, the first batch of 25 trainees commenced a 5-day intensive training at the Senegambia Beach Hotel. The training, conducted by resource persons from the Gambia Revenue Authority Legal and Operational Departments, is funded by the French Development Agency. According to Gambia Revenue Authority Commissioner General Yankuba Dabo, the objective of the training is to ensure that staff of the authority involved in the administration of revenue have a better understanding of the laws by administer. By this, we are aligning our conduct and activities to within the limits of the laws while we collect lawful revenue for national development, Commissioner General Dabo said. He said a well-functioning tax administration is key to mobilizing domestic resources in least developed countries, saying the design of the tax system should be influenced by the ability of tax officials to administer it. It is important that you take the training seriously because you cannot effectively execute your duty if you don't master the laws that should guide you. As tax administrators, we are not above the law, so it is important we understand that. So make the training interactive and also ask many questions as possible, he said. He commended the French Development Agency, IMF, the World Bank, Africa Development Bank, and all the Gambia Revenue Authority partners for supporting the authority's transformation process. Commissioner General Dabo added that the Gambia Revenue Authority considers capacity building as an essential part of its digital transformation. As such, they work closely with their partners to promote ongoing training across all levels of tax administration with revenue laws. The end goal of this focus on training is to ensure that the tax officials responsible for driving positive reforms are adequately capacitated to do so, Commissioner General Adabo said. Over the past years, he added, part of Gambia Revenue Authority's objectives has been to strengthen and consolidate the specialized tax knowledge of its officials so that they may perform their functions efficiently and effectively. The Gambia Revenue Authority Deputy Legal Officer Ibrahim Sala said the training is in with the authority's mandate as provided for its strategic plan, adding that the capitalization of staffs has been a routine exercise at the Gambia Revenue Authority over the past years. But this year, they want to do it on a quarterly basis, targeting about 100 staff from different departments and units of the Gambia Revenue Authority to ensure they are conversant with the laws that guide their work, he said. Yahya Mane, the Director of Technical Services, who doubles as its €2 million project coordinator, commended the French Development Agency for funding the project and urged the trainees to take the opportunity seriously. The National People's Party aspirant who finished third in last week's primaries for Birkama Area Council chairmanship has said endorses CDCC, one of the two contenders for the party's ticket. Lamin F. Bojang, a former journalist and Speaker of the National Youth Parliament, who was eliminated in the first round with 16 votes, told the Standard that following consultations with his delegates, he has decided to endorse CDCC. They are going to be at the primaries and his people are going to vote for him because he believes he stands a better candidate to win against their opponents based on various factors, Mr. Abojang said. He said Mr. Cisse stood a better chance of uniting the party supporters in the West Coast region and bring the needed development in all areas needs urgent resurrection. Mr. Cisse's main opponent, Ahmad Cisse, has said he would not go to any primaries as he has the clear winner of the first round. A member of GT's campaign said they would not allow anyone to use them to legitimize a process that has already been robbed. Fanta Job, a student and a resident of Kiaf Village, Lower River region, has urged the government to take tougher actions against rape offenders to protect women. Speaking at the Health and Security Sensitization meeting organized by Peace Corps Gambia in partnership with the LRR Regional Health Directorate, Mr. Job, who is in her early 20s, said the government needs radical reforms to address the prevalence of rape cases in the country. Though the state has made some significant efforts to prosecuting gender-based violence cases, there is still a big gap in prosecution. Despite having village development committees who deal with these issues, usually when cases of rape are reported, nothing comes out of it. More often, they will resort to addressing it in-house while the victim lives with the trauma for the rest of her life. That is how ridiculous things are to the girls and the women in the communities, she added. The young age parents and the community leaders to take the lead to the protecting girls and women, adding that the act of killing rape cases in the house should be discouraged. They should endeavor to protect rape cases to the police when they happen. They urge the VDC members to step up their vigilance and stop receiving bribes to silence victims of rape and teenage pregnancy, she said. The week-long sensitization offered participants the opportunity to express themselves as well as share experience and make proposals on the way forward. Lamin Banda, LRR Regional Police Commissioner, and addressing the issues of rape and teenage pregnancy will require the collaboration of all stakeholders. We should start with addressing the issue of compromising rape cases at a community level. This is making it very difficult for the police because more often they are not even consulted, and when it comes to teenage pregnancy, cases are only reported after the victims gave birth, he said. Commissioner Banda said if cases of rape are reported on time, it will help the police to conduct a smooth investigation, including collective scientific evidence. He said the police in the area have made attempts to sensitize the communities about the importance of reporting cases of rape and teenage pregnancy. They are doing all this because the police cannot be everywhere, so they urge the community, especially the village structure, to help in timing share of information. They are now proactive, moving from one comfort zone to enable them to gather information to be able to respond with adequate information, he said. Commenting on the lack of prosecution of rape and gender-based violence cases, a female activist who prefers to remain anonymous said there is still a catastrophic system failure to criminal justice system that emboldens serious rapists and misogynists and abandoned traumatized victims. In short, rape should be an active area of public policymaking. Currently, it is not. The prosecutor in the trial of soldiers in connecting with last December's alleged coup plot has asked the High Court to grant a state witness to give evidence behind closed doors to his safety. The witness, an undercover agent, has supposed to testify at the fifth prosecution witness yesterday, but counsel Yusuf told the judge, Basiru Mahoney, that testifying in public will expose the witness and blow his cover, which will not be in the interest of national security. The request was objected by one of the defense lawyers, Lamin S. Camara, who said the application is not genuine because the prosecutor failed to detail the conditions why the underground agents should give evidence in camera. Other defense lawyers agreed with Camara's position. At this point, the judge asked the two parties to see him in his chamber, after which the case resumes with the judge ordering the state prosecutor to make a formal application for the witness to testify in camera latest tomorrow, and for the defense to reply on points of law, if any, the next Tuesday. The trial continues today with other prosecution witnesses expected to testify. The soldier Corporal Sana Fadera, alleged ringleader Sergeant Jibril Dabo, Corporal Ibrahim Sano, Corporal Omar Koli, and Sub-Inspector Fabakari Jawara are facing 2 counts of treason, concealment of treason, and incitement of mutiny. They denied all charges. On Sunday, officials of Gach Global Group presented $1.5 million sand mining royalty to Tujeren Village as the company's social cooperative responsibility to the community's development for the next 6 months. The payment was effected in advance after the community sought the company's intervention in to fund some projects. The officials were received by the Alikalo of Tujerang, representative of the VDC, and other members of the community. Speaking shortly after receiving the check, the Tujerang Alkalo Karamo Bojang disclosed that since mining of black sand began in the coastal village decades ago, the community never benefited from any exploration of its own resources, except now with this intervention of Gach. The former Newsrat Senior Secondary School Principal Alkalo Bojang further explained that the money will be invested in projects approved by the village development community. The head of Gach Mining, Amadou Mane, said they are very comfortable because since they came here, they have never experienced any problem and had no issues with the VDC or the Alikalo. Mr. Mane said the CEO of Gach Global, Abubakar Jawara, consistently advises the officials of the company to maintain cordial relationship between the communities they operate in. The vice chairman of Tujeren VDC, Aliou Sambo, said the money will be utilized for the construction of a secretary and a boat office for the VDC, a shed for the office of the Alkalo, provision of security at the upgrading Tujeren market, and expansion of the village madrasa. Former Secretary General and head of the civil service, also a respected member of Tujeren community, Aliou Ngom, described the relations between Gach Mining and Tujeren as cordial and fruitful. According to him, this excellent relation is due to the responsible and the sustainable approach that Gach Mining took in its mining operation in the community. He pointed out the company's operations and never been injurious to the environment as opposed to other mining companies engaged in thrift felling, bush clearing, and other unfriendly environment practice. Those were the stories of our today's news bulletin, but before we take a leave of you, let's take a recap on our top stories. Gambia Revenue Authority to train over 100 staff on revenue laws. Mr. Bojang endorses CDCC for Birkama Area Council. Government to take tougher action against rape. State requests undercover agents to testify in camera in the court trial. Gach pays over $1 million mining royalty to Tujeren. Those were the stories of our today's newscast. Thank you for joining us. With your presenter, Maria Magellan, do have a pleasant day.